All right, so get this. Working at a university that's not just globally respected, but also, like, set in one of the most beautiful countries in the world.
Yeah,
Sounds pretty dreamy, right?
definitely.
Well, that's what we're diving into today. What it'd actually be like to work at the University of Waikato in New Zealand?
Very cool.
And our trusted source, academicjobs.com, the go-to for, all things higher ed careers.
For sure. And something that really jumps out at me is that the University of Waikato, they're not just trying to fill positions. It
Yeah.
seems like they're really seeking out people who actually want to be a part of their community.
I like that.
Academicjobs.com highlights this in their invitation to join our diverse and dynamic team. It says a lot about their approach to, building a good workplace.
Yeah, I love that. It's not just about the job itself. It's about contributing to something, bigger.
Absolutely.
And speaking of contributing, think about this. The University of Waikato started with just over 100 students back in 1964. And now they're looking at over 13,000 annually.
That's phenomenal growth. Really shows they're doing something right to attract so many students and faculty from all over.
Right.
And that kind of growth usually means opportunity, don't you think?
Totally. And it's not even just about the size,
Yeah.
It's about their impact. The University of Waikato is getting more and more recognition globally, which is really impressive, especially given, how small New Zealand is, relatively speaking.
True.
They're really punching above their weight in terms of, research and just overall academic standing.
Which is probably why they have so many support systems in place. Academicjobs.com actually mentions opportunities specifically for students and recent grads,
Oh, like what?
like internships and graduate programs.
Oh, cool.
That really points to a commitment to developing talent, helping people build successful careers.
Yeah, it's almost like they're saying, come join us and let's all grow together. And they're really making it easy to find those opportunities, too. Have you checked out the NZUni Talent Job Board?
I have, yeah.
That's such a great resource,
Yeah.
especially for anyone who's just starting out in academia.
Yeah, for sure. It really streamlines things, makes it so much easier to connect with potential employers. And, you can't forget about the location. The University of Waikato campuses in Hamilton and Tauranga
The pictures look amazing.
are in some of the most beautiful parts of New Zealand. Imagine working surrounded by rolling hills and stunning coastline. Plus, you've got that relaxed, friendly New Zealand atmosphere.
Oh, it sounds idyllic.
It does.
And you know what else I noticed on academicjobs.com? In the Work at Waikato section, it doesn't just talk about, the jobs themselves.
Right.
It talks about the lifestyle.
I like that.
They really emphasize the benefits of living and working in a place with great work-life balance, access to nature, a strong sense of community.
Makes sense. People are looking for more than just a paycheck these days. They want a fulfilling life, and it seems like the University of Waikato really gets that.
Yeah. And they even have a section specifically on information for applicants, just to make the application process as clear and transparent as possible. It's like they're rolling out the red carpet.
It's true. They seem to be saying, we want you here, and we're going to make it as easy as possible for you to join us.
Exactly. Now, we can't talk about a university without talking about the leadership.
Of course not.
And the message from the Vice-Chancellor on academicjobs.com is such a great way to see, the heart of this institution.
It is. When you read Professor Neil Quigley's message, you really get a sense of his passion for the university and its people.
It comes through, yeah.
He talks a lot about the importance of community, innovation, and making a positive impact on the world.
Yeah,
Those are values that really resonate with a lot of people, especially in academia.
definitely. And it brings us back to that idea. It's not just a job. It's a chance to be part of something meaningful.
Right.
And speaking of meaningful contributions, have you seen those University of Waikato student success stories featured on academicjobs.com?
I have, yeah.
They're incredible. They highlight the amazing things that students and alumni are accomplishing in all these different fields.
And what's really cool is that these success stories really show the range of opportunities available at the University of Waikato.
Yeah.
So, whether you're passionate about science, the arts, business, whatever, you're going to find programs and research initiatives that can help you thrive. And their flexible programs and world-class research facilities definitely help with that.
For sure. They've really created an environment where people can excel. It's inspiring to see how the university empowers people to, pursue their passions and make a real difference in the world. It's more than just getting an education. It's like a launch pad for success.
That's a great point. I think that's a good place to pause for now. Let's take a moment to think about what we've learned about the University of Waikato. their commitment to their people, the amazing environment, all those opportunities for growth, it makes it a really special place to work. Stick around. We'll be right back with more.
Welcome back. It's really great to see a university that actually, walks the walk when it comes to supporting its people.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's one of the things that really impressed me about the University of Waikato.
Right. It's not just like empty promises.
Exactly.
They have these actual programs and systems set up to help people grow, both personally and professionally.
Yeah. And those student success stories we talked about,
Yeah.
I mean, those are a direct result of how dedicated the university is to empowering its students.
For sure.
The flexible programs, the incredible faculty, the top-notch research facilities, it all comes together to help students really reach their full potential.
And that focus on development even goes beyond graduation, right?
Oh, definitely. Remember, academicjobs.com highlighted how they have opportunities for students and recent graduates, including internships and graduate programs.
Yes.
That tells me they're really invested in helping people build careers that last. Not just find temporary jobs.
Exactly. It's all about creating a culture of growth and opportunity. And when you have an institution that invests in its people like that, it creates this ripple effect.
Right.
It fosters innovation, collaboration throughout the entire community.
It's not even just about climbing the traditional academic ladder either, right?
No, not at all.
The NZUni Talent Job Board is proof of that.
Exactly.
It opens up all these different career paths within the whole university system.
Yeah, you're totally right. Whether you're interested in research, teaching, admin, anything else, there's probably a path for you at the University of Waikato. It seems like they really value having a diverse and talented workforce.
For sure.
And they encourage people to explore all these different avenues.
Absolutely. Speaking of diverse, can we just talk about the campuses for a minute?
Oh, yes.
Hamilton and Tauranga. I mean, I was looking at pictures online, and they are just
gorgeous.
Breathtaking. Imagine starting your workday surrounded by that kind of scenery.
It's incredible, right? And, it's not just about how pretty it is. The environment you work in actually has a big impact on the culture.
Oh, absolutely.
Being around nature, having access to all those outdoor spaces, it can really boost creativity and productivity and, overall job satisfaction.
Totally. And remember, the information for applicants section on academicjobs.com. They really emphasize how much they want the application process to be clear and straightforward.
Yes.
No hidden hurdles or anything, just clear guidance every step of the way.
Which is so important, especially in academia where things can be so competitive.
Yeah.
That transparency builds trust. It shows they respect your time and effort.
And it seems like the University of Waikato gets that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back to that message from the Vice-Chancellor for a second. I feel like Professor Neil Quigley's words really capture what makes this university so special.
I agree. His message really highlights their commitment to things like innovation, community service, and creating this really positive and impactful environment. It's clear that he's not just an administrator,
Right.
He's a passionate advocate for the University of Waikato and its whole mission.
It feels like they're saying, come join us. Be a part of something bigger than yourself, and let's make a difference together.
Yeah, exactly. And that kind of brings us back to academicjobs.com, the platform that made this whole exploration possible in the first place.
It's true. It's more than just a job board. It's like a window into the whole world of higher education careers.
It is.
And it connects talented people with institutions that really share their values and aspirations.
Yeah. So for anyone listening who wants to be part of a dynamic academic community in New Zealand, the University of Waikato is definitely worth checking out.
For sure. Everything we've talked about just points to this university that is clearly committed to growth, innovation, and creating a really supportive and stimulating work environment.
It does.
But, there's one more aspect we should touch on.
Oh, what's that?
Sustainability.
Yes. That's so crucial these days, especially for universities.
Right.
How committed they are to creating a sustainable future. And the University of Waikato seems to be taking this really seriously.
They are. Academicjobs.com even had a link to their sustainability report.
Oh, wow.
It's called Wairanga Tayo, Wairanga Tangata. It basically details all the progress they made toward the UN Sustainable Development Goals back in 2022.
That's great.
It's really impressive to see, actual concrete steps they're taking to build a more sustainable future.
And it sounds like they're taking a really holistic approach.
Yeah.
They talk about the connection between a healthy environment and inclusive communities. So it's not just about the planet, it's about people too.
Exactly. It's like they're saying, we're building a better future for everyone.
I love that. And the report also mentions some pretty big projects they're involved in.
All
It
right.
sounds like they're really pushing the boundaries of innovation, trying to find new ways to create a more sustainable and equitable world.
It's really inspiring to see a university that, isn't just talking about sustainability, but actually doing something about it.
Absolutely. Those big projects are a real testament to their forward-thinking approach.
For sure. They're investing in these initiatives that will benefit not just the university community, but, society as a whole.
Exactly.
It's clear that the University of Waikato is more than just a place to work. It's a place where you can really align your career with your values,
Right.
knowing that you're part of something truly meaningful.
And that brings us to the end of part 2 of our deep dive into the University of Waikato.
But don't go anywhere. We'll be right back to wrap things up and leave you with some final thoughts. Welcome back to the deep dive. We've spent this whole episode talking about what makes the University of Waikato such a great place to work. And honestly, I gotta say, I'm feeling pretty inspired.
Me too. It's not often you find a university that seems to really have it all, you know?
Right.
A supportive community, a real commitment to growth, that stunning location, and a genuine drive to make a positive impact on the world.
And let's not forget, we've been using academicjobs.com for all this great info.
Absolutely. It's been such a fantastic resource for us to really get a feel for what the University of Waikato is all about.
Yeah, and the cool thing is this is just a small piece of what's out there. Academicjobs.com has tons of opportunities at universities all over New Zealand and even beyond.
So if you're looking for a higher ed career, it's definitely the place to start.
But before we wrap up, I want to go back to something we touched on earlier.
Yeah.
The University of Waikato's dedication to sustainability.
Yeah, it's not just some afterthought for them. It's a core part of who they are.
And that's a big deal, especially for a university. I mean, they're training the next generation of leaders, thinkers, innovators.
Right.
When they make sustainability a priority in their courses, their research, how they run things, it sets such a strong example.
Exactly. And remember that sustainability report we mentioned?
Oh, yeah. Wairanga Taiao, Wairanga Tangata.
It's not just a bunch of numbers and charts. It really paints a picture of their progress and how committed they are.
They're actively working toward those UN Sustainable Development Goals, which means they're thinking long-term about the planet and its people.
And it's not just about big, flashy initiatives either. They're making changes at every level, from reducing their carbon footprint to encouraging those sustainable practices on campus and in the community.
Yeah, it's a big picture approach that recognizes how important it is to look after the environment and build inclusive communities.
And we can't forget about those major projects they're working on. It shows they're not afraid to try new things and invest in innovative solutions that can help create a more sustainable future.
It's awesome to see a university that's actually walking the walk when it comes to sustainability.
For sure, it shows they're always striving to improve and do better.
So what does all this mean for you, our listener? Well, it means that the University of Waikato is way more than just a place to work.
Right?
It's a place where you can grow, learn, contribute to something really meaningful, and be part of a community that's shaping a brighter future.
If that sounds like your kind of place, I definitely encourage you to head over to academicjobs.com. You might just find your dream job waiting for you at the University of Waikato.
Or maybe even at another incredible university that shares your values and goals.
It's time to explore your options and see where your passion for higher education can take you.
Big thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the University of Waikato.
We hope you found it helpful and inspiring.
And remember, knowledge is power. Keep learning, exploring, and diving deep into the world of possibilities.